Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope your day is going way better than fantastic. And your journey to self-betterment is going way better than fantastic as well. Today I want to talk about something very important. But before I do, and because of what we are going to talk about today, please know that I believe and understand that narcissism and narcissistic abuse can happen at the hands of men and women alike. It's important you understand when I'm talking about female narcissists. It's not to slight or make light of the abuse that male narcissists do to female victims, because we talk about that here too. But what we also talk about here is how those that run society, at least in the West, and now I'm starting to think in other places as well, they, meaning the narcissists that run society, they do exactly what Satan did. And that is to go after the woman to corrupt her, which in the end led and is leading to society's downfall. And how it's working in modern times is to say, the woman can do no wrong. Hey, that's your mother, show her some respect. No mind is being paid to what abuses she's done to her family. It's just this is your mother, you have to show her some respect. Which ends up being a free pass to do what she wants in life, almost without consequence. And even when there is consequence, there is this group and that group trying to keep these horrible mothers in the lives of their children. There have been literally women with hardcore substance abuse problems, and a father trying to jump through hoops to get custody of his child. And the system is still doing everything it can to keep this woman in the life as the primary caregiver to this child. And in some cases we've talked about on this channel, the child's life was ended by either direct abuse of the so-called mother, or some stupid negligent action of the so-called mother. I've said before, if you put men in society as getting a, well, I'm a man, pass in society to do whatever they want to do, and yet they still had to be respected, you would see narcissist men jump all over such an opportunity. And other men might follow suit. But as it stands, so many of us have had the sad experience of growing up with a narcissist mother. And the reason we later found out was because the system was set up for all of this to happen. And here's the thing. It's been going on for so long. And we see the literal devastation it has caused on society. Yet the powers that be push for more of it to happen. Instead of saying that both men and women are capable of evil against one another and against their children. And if a relationship breaks down, there will be none of this picking who's the best parent based on the woman is always the best parent nonsense, but on who truly is the best parent. And in some cases, both the man and the woman are terrible human beings. But in modern times, because most people didn't meet their spouse when they were growing up as kids, so they can vet them and see if they are a decent person, way before they would ever think about dating. Now people meet on dating apps, or by random happenstance, so you really don't know what you're getting. And disordered people love it, because if they feel as they can hold their mask on long enough, they can get the other person to commit to marriage or having a child, or buying a house together, and then can show what kind of an evil monster they truly are. And as it stands, women in society are encouraged to do this toxic behavior. I'm not saying men don't do it. And I'm not saying men don't do it a lot either. What I'm saying is women are encouraged and rewarded by the system to do it. So much so, they will do some outrageous things that defy logic. And the reason why they do such outrageous things is because they've gotten away with everything you can think of their entire lives. They literally think they are untouchable. And they can talk their way out of anything terrible they do. And sadly these are the mothers entrusted to raise your sons and daughters. Well, today I first came across a story that made me so mad when I heard it. But then while going over this first story, I came across another. Just showing you what this evil behavior looks like up close. And how these mothers truly damage their children. The first story I came across today was regarding this horrible mother right here. Named Veronica Elliott. Where she went into a nightclub or bar in Florida and left her 7-year-old daughter outside in an unlocked car. And the child went up to the bar or club several hours later looking for her mother. This so-called mother didn't show back up to her child and her car not until around 6:30 in the morning, drunk as a skunk. No shoes on. Slurring her words. And thankfully was arrested right on the spot by police waiting for her. Now I have a question for you. What do you think kind of damage this woman's behavior and lack of love is doing and has already been done to her 7-year-old daughter? What kind of problems will her daughter have growing up? She might be so love-starved she will look for love in all the wrong people. All the while this so-called mother here will play dumb as to why her child has all of these life problems. Now I do hope this child will avoid such problems. And I pray God protect her. But somewhere or someone thought she was the best parent. Now who knows? Maybe the father is just as bad as she is. But what if he isn't? What do you think this mother tells her daughter about her father? All the while she leaves her 7-year-old daughter to fend for herself. While she gets drunk out of her mind and who knows what else. For hours on end in a nightclub or bar. Oh, but she said she thought she was only going to be in that place for 10 minutes. You just can't make this stuff up. You just can't. Now you have this so-called mother. Yulia Storazik. She looks like she would be a great mother, right? Wrong. Yulia. And you can look this up. It's a fresh news story. With video. Video of Yulia getting mad at her young child. He looks to be about 5, maybe 6 years old. And on this video, Yulia violently shoves her son to the hard floor. And then picks him up and throws him. Then proceeds to kick him when he's on the ground. When in court, Yulia said she's been in the United States for 1 year. Simply because she was fleeing Russia because of the war. And that she can't be away from her son. And that she had a momentary issue where she sadly lost control over her emotions. But when you see the beating she gave her young son, you know this isn't the first and likely won't be the last. The judge did put a protection order so she can't be around her son. However, how long will that last for? But something I want you to think about. And this goes to why. Why mothers like this are Trojan horse in society designed to cause destruction. Because one day this young boy will grow up. And he will either be a people pleaser and end up with an abusive girlfriend and or wife. Or he might grow up to abuse women just like his mother abused him. And possibly he might end up with an abusive woman along with being abusive himself. Passing on this evil to their children. You see, this evil comes from some place. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. And I've been saying for years that when the mother or father, usually the mother, gets on television and says how she has no idea why and how her son went off the rails, so to speak, and did such a horrible act. Fill in the blank with all of the horrible acts and events we've seen over the last few years. And the son is left holding the bag. Yes. The bag of abuse that he learned from psychopaths like this. And 9 times out of 10. It's mothers like this that will find someone or someones that will side with them regarding they were so-called the victim all along. You know. It's sad that I have to say over and over again. That it makes me sick when narcissist men abuse decent women. And that narcissist men do abuse women. Emotionally. Physically and in many other ways. But it should be obvious to everyone that not only do women or these so-called mothers do the same thing, But they can hide behind they were just trying to do their best because they are a mother. Or they were under a lot of stress. Or they don't have a man around to help them. When they might be preventing the father of the child to see him or her. And these mothers are crawling out of that Trojan horse one by one, literally destroying society. As everyone pretends it's not happening. Literally stories like this happen every single day. One where a young girl might grow up a mess. And one where a young boy might grow up a mess. And in both instances, if these situations weren't documented, these so-called mothers could and would likely act like they have no idea why their children's lives are train wrecks. Oh, and regarding Yulia. To a lot of you so-called high-value guys are guys that aspire to be so-called high-value. By the looks of this photo, she looks to be the type that has high demands of the man she will date. He's got to be rich. He's got to have this and that and the other. I could be wrong. But that's the vibe I get. Well, think twice. Is this the type of woman you want to be your wife, let alone the mother of your child? Take a close look at the women that are on these dating shows. 99.9% of the women on these shows, I would bet, act just like this. Don't become so-called high value and mess not only your life up but your future child's life up. By picking someone like this to have the title of wife and the title of mother. Something to think about. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you all again for your support. If you would like to support this channel further, there is a link in the description box below. I appreciate each and every one of you. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.